Hi guys, I'm Shikhar Kamat, and as a part of HSBC's initiative to make your days at home a little bit more exciting, I'm here with a small little show on thinking inside the box. First of all, I want to thank all of you for staying safe at home, for keeping yourselves safe, for keeping your family safe. You guys are being superheroes right now just by staying at home. It's the most interesting time right now because it's the easiest time in history to be a superhero, because you can be a superhero just by staying at home. You can put on your favorite costume and you can be your own superhero. Isn't that brilliant? So it's a very interesting time right now. All of us around the world, most of us are sort of in isolation. We're locked down at home and we're all divided from each other. In a way, the whole thread, the social fabric of the world has been affected by this. But here's the beautiful part. All of us, even though we're divided, we're all thinking of each other. During this time, it's very important to be socially distant from each other. Keep at least 6 feet away, just to keep ourselves safe, to keep everybody else safe as well. And even though we are divided and distant from each other, it's very important for all of us to be together. And what do I mean when I say together? I mean not together, but united. And if all of us, if we stay united through our hearts, during this time, we will find that there is immense strength in our unity. And if we keep staying together like this, and if we keep united, we will find that there is beauty in connection. Because at the end of the day, all over the world, no matter where we are from, we are all one. So stay connected with your family, your friends, your loved ones, and keep staying safe. So, ever since I was a kid, I've been in love with puzzles. I love puzzles, riddles, and stuff like that. And one of my favorite puzzles is this: a Rubik's Cube. A small puzzle that actually became very famous in the 80s. I'm sure all of you have played with this at some point. I started playing with it when I was about 8 years old. I remember there was this friend of mine in my society, this older bhaiya who I used to look up to, and I'd gone down to play with my friends, and bhaiya was playing with a Rubik's Cube, and I looked up at his face and I looked down at the cube, and then I looked up at his face again, and when I looked down, the cube was magically solved, every single side. And for a child like me, that was mind-blowing. For an 8-year-old, it was no less than magic. So I kept playing with this. I kept playing with it. I kept trying to learn how to solve it. And he taught me. He taught me how to solve one side and how to solve another side and so on and so forth. And I kept playing with it. And as I kept playing with it, as I got older and older, I realized something. I realized that this is not just a Rubik's Cube. This is actually a symbol of the human mind. Because you see, my mind, more often than not, looks a bit like this, completely mixed up on every single side. In fact, it's funny, but most of the world right now is feeling a little bit like this, a little bit messed up, a little bit mixed up. I mean, it is a bit of a tricky situation. But the beauty is all of us are united and we're all working towards a solution together. And how are we doing that? Just like this. We realized that if we can all stay isolated and if we can all stay at home, we can all work towards solving this tricky situation together. All we need to do is stay at home. And if you just keep doing that, maybe by the time we come out, everything will be solved. So keep staying at home and keep staying safe. And hopefully everything will be solved. Yeah? So let's keep working towards a solution together. Just need to keep staying at home, you guys. So great job so far. A lot of times when I show this to people, they tend to think that I'm cheating or that I have an extra cube lying around. I assure you, there is no extra cube lying around. This is the only cube I have. It's a perfectly normal cube. And I'm going to try and show it to you once more. Yeah? So around the world, guys, there are people who compete in competitions and to figure out who can solve a cube in the least amount of time possible. And that competitive sport is known as speed cubing. Yeah, and the world record for solving a Rubik's Cube in the least amount of time possible is 4 seconds. That is the world record. So let's see how I do. Yeah, completely mixed up. And let's see what we can do with this. The idea is that 4 seconds is the world record. Yeah, just count with me. That's a completely mixed up cube. Yeah, and here we go. 4, 3, 2. Yeah, I think that was 3 seconds. How was that? Was that too fast for you? Okay, I'll try it again. I'm gonna try it this time in super slow motion, okay? Just for you guys, so that you can see it exactly how it's happening, okay? Super slow motion. Are you guys ready? Let me know in the comments if you're ready for it. Yeah, super slow motion. Here we go. Are you ready? Okay, super slow motion now. Don't adjust your cameras, guys. I was just acting like the screen's frozen. Super slow motion, right? Okay, no jokes now. I'm actually gonna try and do this in super slow motion. Okay, so here we go. Completely mixed up. I just realized, so all the problems that I come across, all the problems, all the tricky situations that I come across, all the solutions for those problems, they usually come from the back of my mind. You know what I mean? All the solutions to my problems, they come from the back of my mind. And hopefully everything is solved. So there we have it. It's a little something with the Rubik's Cube for you guys. So I'm sure you must be wondering, how did I do that? A lot of people ask me how I did that. It's just hours and hours of practice and a lot of alone time, which is what you guys also have right now. So spend some time in learning something. Yeah. Now, right now, if I give this cube to someone and if I ask you to solve it like that, most of you may not be able to do it. Yeah, but it's just, like I said, hours and hours of practice. So if you keep practicing, if you have a positive attitude, a little bit of a smile on your face, maybe at some point you'll get so good at it that everything will be solved. Alright, so that's a little something with the Rubik's Cube. And now's the time for a little mind experiment. Okay, I want you, yes, you watching at home right now, I want you to think of a 3-letter word. Yeah, think of any word at all. Have you got one? Okay. And I want you to focus on the second alphabet. Yeah, focus on the second alphabet. Say it in your mind. And I want you to think of a different word from it when I snap my fingers, okay? So think of a fruit from that letter. Got one? Okay. I want you to focus on the last alphabet of the fruit that you just thought of. Yeah, the last alphabet of the name of the fruit. Focus on that. And I want you to think of a different word from it when I snap my fingers. Okay. So I want you to think of an animal with that letter. Do you have something? Yeah? Okay. I want you to say the name of that animal in your mind over and over and over. What did you think of? Was it an elephant? Is that what you what you thought of? Let me know in the comments if that's what you thought of. Let me know if I got it right. I'm gonna put my friend away. Alright, now is a good time for you guys to go ahead and grab yourself a deck of playing cards. Yeah, so go ahead, get a deck of playing cards. Any kind of any deck of playing cards is fine. These are the ones that I have. If you don't have a deck of playing cards, get yourself a deck of Uno cards, or pretty much anything works fine. Yeah. Meanwhile, while you do that, I'm going to try to show you something that I've been working on, a cool little trick, so to speak. Yeah. So check this out. I have the Ace of Hearts. Yeah. And all I need to do is, if I sort of rub it a little bit the right way, turns into the Ace of Spades. How was that? Did you like that? Now I'm going to tell you how I did it. But before I did, if I ask you guys at home, how many of you can do what I just did? What do you think you'll say? I think most of you will be like, no, that's impossible. I don't know how to do it. Can't happen. And some of you, a few of you, if you're magicians, you'll be like, yes, I think I can try this. Right? Now in this moment, the only difference between you and me is knowledge. The difference is that you don't know how I just did that, and I know how I did it. That's the only difference between you and me. And if you figured out how I did it, and if you were able to do it, that gap, that knowledge gap between us would be bridged. Yeah? So don't worry, I'm going to show you how I did it. So here it is. Here's what I did. I turned 2 cards as 1. I pushed the top card with the front of my hand, and with the ball of my palm, I pushed the bottom card behind under the cover of my hand. And just like that, I brought it back on top. And if I do it all together with practice, a little fast, it looks like magic. So there we have it. So now if I ask you guys to do the same thing that I just did, how many of you will say yes? I think most of you will say yes. With a little bit of practice, I think most of you can do it. A few moments ago, when I asked you the same question, that can you do this, you thought this was impossible. And now that I showed you how I did it, now you think not only is this possible, but maybe I can do it well. And that is the beauty of knowledge, you guys. Knowledge can affect our values and our beliefs and the way we look at things. Moments ago, what you thought was impossible, with a little bit of knowledge, now it turns into possibilities. And now we have bridged that gap between us. So there isn't much difference between you and me. So that is something that I wanted to share with you. Write down a few things that you think are impossible, but you've always wanted to do them. And I'm pretty sure if you write them down, I'm pretty sure about 95% of it you can do. You can make those things possible by getting a little bit of knowledge and by a little bit of practice. And this is the best time in history that we have to learn new things. Yeah, so go ahead, learn new things, get some knowledge, and change your perspective, change your beliefs, change your values. Yeah. I hope you've got yourself a deck of cards by now. Yeah. Uh, there's something interesting that I want to share with you about a deck of cards. A deck of cards, in a way, resembles life. It's very strange. Because you see, a deck of cards is made up of two colors, black and red. It's very interesting, but the days of our lives are made up of two colors, day and night. A deck of cards also has 4 suits. Yeah, clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. The days of our lives also has, in 1 year, we have 4 seasons. A deck of cards, every suit, each of the 4 suits has 13 cards. It has 1 to 10 number cards and 3 picture cards. It's very strange, but it takes 13 weeks to make up 1 season. Also, a deck of cards has totally about 52 cards. 52 cards. It takes 52 weeks to make up a year. And finally, if you add up every single card, every single index across a deck of cards, if you add up them, you might come up to the answer 364. If you add a joker, that's 365, the number of days in a year or a leap year. And that is the beauty of a deck of cards. It's very strange how a deck of cards resembles life in the most strangest way. And now that I've told you that, I'd like to show you something with this deck of cards. I hope you've got your own next to you. I want to show you something through this deck. So let's try this. If you have your deck, I want you to deal down 2 identical packets of cards. You can deal as many as you like, but make sure they're not more than 10. Okay, so deal 2 identical piles. Okay, now you have 2 piles that you've dealt in front of you. I want you to point to either one of them. Just point to either one of them. Yeah, that's the one you're pointing to. Are you sure? You can switch to the other one if you like right now. Okay, now the pile that you're pointing to, I want you to pick up that packet and I want you to look at the bottom card and put it back down. Yeah, remember that card. Okay, it's very important. That card is your card. Yeah, I want you to pick up the pile that you just looked at and put it on top of the big deck that you have right now. Yeah, lovely. Now I am going to try to find out what card you've picked. Okay, I want you to deal down 1 card at a time every time I say deal. Okay, so deal 1 card at a time every time I say deal. Starting now. Deal, 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 keep going, deal, 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 and deal. Okay, stop. I think you must have passed your card at this point. Okay, let's do one thing. I want you to pick up all the cards that you just dealt and put it back on top of the big packet that you have. Yeah? Do you have all the cards with you right now? Wait, no? Okay, there's still 1 more packet remaining. I want you to pick up that packet, put it back on top of the deck Yeah, I think now you should have all the cards with you. Yes? Lovely. Okay, now we're going to use a simple magic spell to find out what your card is. Yeah, all you need to do is spell out, "This is my card." One card, one letter at a time. Yeah? So go. T H I S I S M Y C A R D. Stop. You just spelled out, "This is my card." Yeah? I want you to think about what your card was, and I'd like you to say it out loud. Read, say it out loud. What is your card? Okay. I want you to turn around the last card that you just dealt. D, turn it around. Is that your card? How did we do? Did I get it right? Tell me in the comments if I got it right. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thank you so much. That was a little bit of something with a deck of cards. I hope this gets you started on some magic. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed that. Until next time, stay at home and stay safe.